Hello everyone, both on stream and on the radio. It is 1 minute past 5 and welcome to Behind the Desk. I am your host, Skystone. I hope you liked that little introduction there of the Perry the Platypus theme. I loved it, so I hope everyone else did, unless that's just a funny joke for me. I hope everyone's doing well. This show is going to be a little bit interesting. I have a couple things here in the studio that I want to change and update. So the rough plan is we're going to start off with, actually, pre-warning, for people that are on the radio, I will try as hard as I can, but this show is going to work a lot better on the live stream, as I'm going to be showing what I'm doing on the computer. So you might want to go on to that if anyone's listening. If not, hello live stream, everything should be good for you. I'm going to try and redo the Stream Deck, or at least my Stream Deck profile, because it needs a little bit of an update. And then I'm going to try and change some Python code of the studio clock we have here in the studio. So hopefully, all in all, it should be quite a good stream. I am going to be coding live, so it's entirely possible everything might go wrong. But we will see. I had this idea and I really wanted to do it, and this is kind of what this show is for. So we're going to go with that. There might be news if I either run out of time or hit a roadblock. I might look up some news and I might talk about what I've been doing recently. But other than that, that is the rough plan for the show. I'm not entirely ready because I left home a little bit late to come do this. So I still have some stuff to set up for the show. So we're going to let the radio listen to some songs, and for the stream I'm going to mute for a little bit while I finish setting up the show, and then when everything's set up I will start chatting again and hopefully we can get on with this. So overall it should be quite a fun little show, but who knows. But I do suggest, for the start bit at least, to head over to the radio side, just so you can hear the music that we'll be playing, because I won't be talking. So coming up, we have You Will Be Found from Dear Evan Hansen, The Greatest Show from The Greatest Showman, and Starships by Nicki Minaj, and Waving Through a Window, also from Dear Evan Hansen. I hope you guys enjoy. Yeah, so, hi stream. I'm not going to be talking for a bit, so as I said, if you want to go to the radio on the Derby Union page and listen to some songs, I will catch up with you guys in a little bit. Have fun. Hello again, everyone. I hope you're all doing well during that little break. Oh, something I'm going to try quickly, just to see if this works on stream like I want it to. Hopefully there's elevator music on the live stream now. Who knows? I should probably get rid of that. We'll be back soon. Hello, everyone. So I've done setup, so the show should be completely flawlessly running and I shouldn't need to touch anything, which is good when I'm trying to do coding and stuff in the background. But we will see how all that's going to work. I'm going to turn my headphones back up a bit now because I turned them down earlier. Right, so to start off, what we're going to do on the stream is I'm going to do some work in Companion, which is the major piece of software that we use to get buttons to appear over on our Stream Deck over here. Currently it's running through Stream Deck and using Companion as a plugin. I'm going to leave it like that for the moment, but realistically I want to swap over, which the previous technical manager of Phantom would love to hear, but I can't do that yet because people are using it, so I can't mess with things dramatically. But we're going to create myself a new profile and fiddle with some things in Companion to see if I can basically replicate this, but make it better on Companion. And most of the buttons are Companion. The only thing that isn't is OBS, which I have imported the OBS plugin into Companion. So that should all hopefully work. From now on, the radio side is going to be a little bit weird because, of course, you can't see anything, which does negate from being able to figure out what I'm doing, which is annoying, but oh well. I'm going to quickly check something while I'm here. I'm going to check that what I have done to get background music on the stream is actually going through. It definitely isn't because everything just reset and I didn't save it, did I? Nope. Let's bring that up to 0, shall we? Now there's background music on the stream. Lovely. It would be great if I remembered to save things. That's going to be my job later. But I'll do that at the end of the stream so I don't have to press too many buttons. So, here's how this is going to work. On the live stream, I'm going to just continuously talk and do some work on the stuff. On the radio, when it comes to talking sections, I am going to try to either talk about what I've been doing and explain it, or talk about stuff that's been happening to me, as I said in the first section. But for the radio side, I'm going to let that go for the moment and play some songs so I can get some stuff done and then come back to update everyone. So coming up, there's Fearless by Taylor Swift, Good For You from Dear Evan Hansen, The Other Side from The Greatest Showman. If you don't like musicals, this can be a bad show for you, and Snap Out of It by Arctic Monkeys. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Hello, stream. Let's do some Companion work. So, I am going to transition over to this lovely view so I can show everyone what's happening. And we're going to go over to Companion. Companion's a really cool plugin you can get for, or just piece of software you can get to run Stream Decks. We've got it working as a plugin, so on here we can add a Companion button, and then we just have to prefix which button we actually want to add. This is a little bit of behind the scenes as this show should be. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to create a new profile on here, and we're going to edit profiles and call it I can rename these, can't I? Yes, I can. We're going to call this Sky Companion version, and then I can import everything onto this when I get to that point. But for the moment we're going to set this back to the default one so I actually have control over the stream and everything. This is the downside of trying to do this at the same time, but we're going to work for it. So what the rough plan is, we're going to have a mute button for each microphone, being, you can't see this at the moment, but I'm going to point over here, For our sound desk, we have each of our mics, we have 5 separate microphones, and then we have a mic feed coming from our second studio, which, if I'm really clever, I can show nothing because there's no one in there and it's broken. We have a studio over that way, Studio 2. So if you've watched any of the other streams, I think Behind the Desk and Film Talk, their first stream, you would have seen Studio 2. So, let's work on adding some things. So, we're going to create a button, and I'm going to quickly transition off this so I can fiddle with some settings. In Companion, you have the top bar, which basically shows what number everything is. I very heavily dislike it, so I'm changing the default to not show it. You see, you can show it, and it shows like the little page 3, 0, 0, and if not, then I can hide it, or I can just press follow the default, which I've now changed. So we're going to call this mic 1, and the action is going to be on the X32, which is the sound desk we have. We're going to do set mute for mic channel 1. Very simple. We're now going to copy this 6 times, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that should do. And then we're going to change all of these and change all of the values. And then there's one more thing we're going to do with these to get them working nicely, and we'll call this Studio 2. Can I change this font down a bit? Yeah, let's do 30, that looks nice. So, these currently would work, but we're going to add a feedback. Oh, I should have done this before I did all these. And this is what happened. Oh, I'll just do it on each of them. Adding a feedback to it, which is going to be also mute, change from mute state. So if it's pressed, it becomes red. So if it's muted, it's red. And if not, then it's... we'll do it how I've done every other button to make this easier on me. Invert, set it to green. So if it's unmuted, it will be green. If it's muted, it'll be red. Very simple. So we are now actually going to delete all of these because I shouldn't have done this. This is what happens when you try and set stuff up live. Going to copy that across. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Change this to mic 2. Use 3. 4, 5, and then Studio 2. And we'll change that to, was it 30? 30 looks good enough for the moment. And change this to channel 2, feedback to channel 2, channel 2. And now I have to do this for all of them. While I'm doing this, I'm going to explain some stuff that I'm working on, or that will be done when I get round to it. Currently, as the stream will be able to hear, the music we've currently got going out the stream is elevator music. I'm going to try and get some royalty-free music so we can have just some stream beds, so that you don't have to be listening to 2 hours or however long the show is of elevator music. So I imagine that's really annoying. So hopefully I can get that set up relatively quickly, and then we can have a set of beds that we can have on the stream so it's not horrible. Here's a quick test. I'm going to test the mute button. And you can hear me again. It works. Lovely. I'm going to test all of the other ones while I'm here. Just to test I have done everything right. Lovely. All of the buttons work. We love that. We're going to create another button. This one is going to be called Mics 0. And this is going to action, fader, set fade level, and we're going to set the fade level to 0, fade duration to a second, and now I have to do it for every single channel. But yeah, Companion is a very powerful piece of software. It has a bunch of plugins that you can get on connections. Oh, that was fine to show. But yeah, you can get a bunch of plugins and they always add more. When I first started using Companion, this number was about 450, so they do definitely add more. I'm just listening to make sure I'm not going live. We're fine. So if you have a Stream Deck at home, or you work with it, then I do highly suggest using it because it is a very good piece of software, even though I'm not using it quite as effectively. Right, and we're going to create a copy of this button. This is the fun thing, called mics minus infinity. I could copy this from one of my other Stream Deck profiles, like I have it here, but we're doing this properly, so I'm going to do all of it. And this one isn't actually too bad to get all set up. And then we have a couple more buttons that I'm going to do that I might copy across because I'm not quite sure how they work. So I'm going to quickly test these buttons and hopefully it works flawlessly. That's amazing. So this is basically all I need for mics. So I've got a mute for each of them. I can set all of them to 0 and all to minus infinity. I will give him credit because he's right, I just didn't want to admit it. Josh Brunning, when he was on Behind the Desk last week, as much of a mess it was, did say that having a 0 for each microphone is unnecessary. You could just set them all to 0 and unmute the ones you want to use. He's right, but it still frustrates me. But he's right, so this is a lot more efficient. I will rearrange this in a little bit. I'm just currently going to make the buttons, and then I'll arrange it on Companion, and then I will, for the moment, use a plugin and plug in the entire Stream Deck screen. Actually, tell you what, we'll do that. Actually, how long have I got left on this song? Got another song. We're going to quickly go into the new profile. And we're going to create companion buttons for every single one of these buttons. This was a stupid idea, hang on. Is this highly inefficient? Yes. Page 3. This is the downside of using Companion as a plugin, is that you can't just throw the whole screen across. You have to import every single button across. And usually it's very difficult to find which buttons are which. But as I'm creating an entire profile, it should actually be quite simple because I just need to set each of these to the button after it. This is incredibly time consuming. But this is how I'm going to have to do things if I want things to work nicely. And this means if I added anything to that profile page... Oh, I've forgotten what number I'm on. I'm on 11, great. Then it automatically will bring it over to the Steam Deck. Oh, I can't count. 3, 14, 15, 16... I really hope 18? Yeah. I really hope this works because I don't want to do this again. Eventually, when I get everything working, I will bring this over. I've done it twice. That's upsetting. I will bring this over to being Companion running the Stream Deck. So no Stream Deck software, just Companion, and it'll work a lot. It will work better, but there is a couple things that I need to do before I can do that, so that I can replace the profiles we currently have, because we use Playout 1 as a piece of software to run everything, and I need to talking while trying to do this, and just trying to talk is very apparently difficult. Right, we have Play Out 1, which is how we run all our music. And to control the different beds here on Play Out 1, you can only use hotkeys. You can't, there's no like plugins or APIs you can use to get into Play Out 1 that I know of. I will do some research, but I'm pretty sure there isn't any. I think I've done it before. So the one thing Companion it can do, but it needs help, is doing keyboard inputs, which we'd need to run hotkeys. So I will do some research into that, and then hopefully once I can get all that working, I can make it all the same. But this is now basically an exact copy of the Companion thing. So I can move a button, or I can just create a new button, call it, supposedly, it appears. Lovely. And when I get rid of it, it disappears. So that profile is now completely ready and set up to be the Companion profile. And I am going to copy launcher. Actually, I'm going to update this launcher to go to the Companion version, so I can press that button and it'll zip me over to Companion version. Fortunately, I can't put it back because I've filled this up with Companion buttons, but never mind. But for the moment, we're going to go back onto this so that I can see what I'm doing. And because this song is getting closer to its end, I believe. Yeah, we've got about 30 seconds. So that's, well, so we've got all the mics sorted. In the next section, I will get the other buttons, like controlling when we go on air and stuff, sorted out. And then I'll do OBS buttons and possibly do some extra ones, or I'll keep working on it and then show it off next show. But we will see. But for the moment, we're going to go back live in about 3 seconds. So I'm going to quickly sort that out and then I'll be back with you. Live from Kettleston Road. Hello radio, I hope everyone's doing well if anyone's listening at home. Me and the stream have been doing some work to do with Companion. We've set up some Companion buttons. We've set up all of the microphone mutes and mics alter 0 on their faders and mics alter nothing on their, so minus infinity on their faders, so back down to nothing so you can't hear us. And all of that has been working well. I'm just now thinking of what else I want to add. So I'm going to add some of the basic control, so unmuting the mics to the stream, bringing down Play Out 1 so we can have some beds while I'm talking so I'm not over, I'm just not, it's not really loud. Sorry. And that kind of thing, and I'll set all those up. And also probably now I'm looking at it, do some of the quick key stuff. But we'll see how well that goes. That should go well. And yeah, hopefully I should be able to get all of that sorted, and then OBS control, which shouldn't be too bad at all. And then I should have full control in Companion instead of being on a Stream Deck. Well, it's on a Stream Deck, but it's not using the Stream Deck software, but it is because I can't switch it over. But it should work well. For everyone at home, watching on the radio, I hope you listened, well not watching, listening on the radio, I hope you enjoyed those songs. I did. I was listening to them while I was doing some work. Unfortunately, the stream isn't because of YouTube restrictions, but hey ho, we do what we can. And we have some good songs coming up. The next section is going to be a lot of me not talking. So with the remainder of this bed, I'm going to talk about what I've been up to recently and what's going on. To be honest, I haven't really been up to much. I did a test code of the Phantom clock, which we have over there in the corner, which shows us the time and a bunch of other things, of trying to get the YouTube live chat to be on there, which I will hopefully get working today. I just need to figure out where to put it. And then, other than that, I haven't really been doing much, to be honest. I've been working on my projects, on my assignments. I've got my Graphics 2 project and my application development project going. And to be fair, both of them are alright at the moment. I prefer this app dev to the previous one, now realising that I've been talking really fast, so I'm going to try and slow down. But in the world of Phantom, and for the people listening to the radio, we have the Community Awards coming up. which is for the union. So all of the different societies and things like that get awards depending on what they've done and if they've done better. The awards were voted on by everyone at the uni. So we will see. Maybe Phantom will get some more awards this year. Who knows? If you're going to be there, you will see me there. I will be one of the people representing Phantom, as I am on the committee, and I host a show. So hopefully it should be a fun time. If there is anyone that's going, I hope to see you there. But for the moment, please enjoy some more songs like Blinding Lights, It's Over, Isn't It, from Steven Universe, Too Good at Goodbyes, and Wait For Me Reprise. And I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Goodbye. Hello, stream. Let's get back to what we were doing. I'm now realising I really should have gotten a drink. We'll be fine. My voice just might give out. We'll have to see. Anyway, back to what we were doing. We have quite a big break now. It's not a break for me, but it's a break for the radio. So, we'll get back to doing some work. So, things I want to add. I want to add fader control for the quick keys, which shouldn't be too difficult, and I want to add OBS. We're going to go to one of the other fader control pages, this page, which Josh Running hates because it's all not in the right place. I'm just trying to remember what these do. Fun is just a thing when I was fiddling quite a while ago. But what we're going to do is we're going to get these two. Well, probably we're actually going to get mute 0 and unmute -20, because those are quite helpful buttons. I might get record mute, but other than that, that's about all. I just want to quickly remind myself what this does. I think it's quite simple. This is quite simple, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to copy this and paste it over here. Purely because it just makes my life a little bit easier. I've already done these buttons before. These ones I'll do just to show, but I'll explain what they do. So we have different buses on the desk, one of them being the mic bus, which mutes the mics going to the stream. Or not the stream, sorry, to the radio. So currently, my mic is unmuted. However, but the fader is at 0 and I'm not going out live. So that's because the mic's bus, so all the mics go into the bus, which then gets sent out to the radio. Or to the master playout, I think. So currently muted, I can't go anywhere, hopefully. And it sets the fader of the music to 0. So no one's talking, set it to normal volume. And this solo dim, we have big speakers. Well, we only have one at the moment, but we have a big speaker here in the studio. I really should move on the cameras to point at it. Hang on. I'll keep talking while I'm going to try set that up, because that's a good idea. Where has Logitech Control gone? There it has. This one. Let's quickly turn that camera around. And let's get 4 and 5. So now I can show things with this camera. That's a really good idea, actually. So we're going to quickly transition over to the camera. So as you can see over there, we have a monitor. Not a computer monitor, but a studio monitor for sound things. It's currently off. You'll notice over on the desk here, we have a dim button. It says dim, I can't show you that, but it does. And when it's on, it does that. It goes bright. When it's off, it does that. All that literally means is the dim button. Let's transition back to me. All the dim button does is basically, when it's pressed down, this isn't entirely true. I don't really know how it works. I don't do sound. I am a computer science. I'm on a computer science degree. I'm talking a load of rubbish. It might be right. Who knows? Anyway, when the dim button is down, it lowers the amount of sound going to the speaker. I'm assuming it turns off an amplifier, or really lowers the gain, but I have no idea because it has a volume knob next to it, and if the dim button's left on and you turn the volume up really high, it plays basically no sound. So it dims it, as you'd expect. I will quickly see if I can angle that camera nicely to show the desk. Sure, we'll do this. We're gonna get, might be a bit trippy, but we're gonna bring this back up. So as you can see, I have the desk here, which has a horrible shot of the desk, but it's gonna have to do because I can't get a better one. But I can now show you, now I think about it, these buttons working. So if I pressed mics to 0, you will see, and I'm gonna keep quiet purely because I don't quite trust that I'm not gonna go to the radio, but I'll show you it. And all of them come back down. Now, that was quite jerky. I don't really know why it is, but I have found a setting that I didn't know existed, which I'm going to increase. It might cause things to go a bit funky, but we're going to transition again and just see what it looks like. So, in Companion, let's quickly load back up to commentary. I don't want to show you this in case I show something I shouldn't, but in Companion, in Connections, when you set up the sound desk we have, which is an X32, a Behringer X32 producer to be exact, it has a frame rate option. It was set to 10. Oh. Sorry, radio's making funky noises. I'm pretty sure this is just one of the... it's the remix suite, it's fine. This one sounds really funky. But it was set to 10, so it was doing a bunch of jumps. That is now on 30. And it was a lot smoother, and I like it more. So we're setting it to that, purely because it makes me feel good. But let's get on and add some more buttons, instead of me just talking a load of rubbish, because it's unnecessary at the moment. I'm just going to quickly check. Interesting. In OBS, it's the source for muted messages, which is what allows me to do this and for this, which is now very invisible, is red. Don't know why it's red, but it is definitely red. Never mind. Anyway, so we've got mute and unmute, we've got all of those. Let's do some quick key buttons. So, we're going to create a button, which is going to be quick key, mute. Very simple. And the press action is going to set mute on channel. This is fun. I get to now find it. Is it this one? It wasn't that one. Oh, it won't be a channel, it'll be a... It will be this, a mix bus. And mix bus 4. There we go. So now, when I press this button, the background music should go. That's interesting, it doesn't go. Oh, that's because I've done things differently, isn't it? So we're not actually going to do mix bus 3 and 4. We're going to do mix bus 7 and 8. You'll see they're not labelled. That's because we have a button that resets the desk after, well, when you come in, so you can just press reset the desk in case someone's has been doing funky things with the desk, and it'll go back to its default state, which I've been overwriting, which I really shouldn't have, but I've made sure everything is set properly, so it's fine. But that means that I was muting the wrong channel, so now, there we go. It should no longer be going, and then if I press it again, it's back. Lovely. So we have a mute. We're going to add a feedback, like we have been. Oh, change from mute state. And for this one, we're only going to pick one. Because it doesn't need to be 2. And then we're going to add a invert on it. And inverted, it's going to be purple, because I quite like it being like that. So now, we have a quick keys mute button that works towards the stream. So if I press it, it mutes, nothing goes to the stream, press it again, it unmutes. And what am I going to do? For me, because I'm only going to be playing background music through it, we're going to create a button called Quick Key 0, and we'll create Quick Key minus 20, which is the level we like to have everything on when it's being used as a bed, which it is. And this is going to be set fade level of channel mix bus 7, fade level to minus 20. Okay. Fade duration, we'll make it a minute as well. And we're going to do that for mix bus 8 as well. Just so that they move at the same time. They are linked, so they will move at the same time if one of them moves. For example, I can wobble it, and it'll sound a bit funky. But it does do that. And then we're going to copy this. And we're going to set this to minus 90. Which is minus infinity. So now, I can, and we'll call this minus inf. And I can test, goes down to minus infinity, and I can bring it back up. I'm assuming that does something. Here's a quick test. Let's mute myself so I can't hear myself on the stream. And that does work. Lovely. Let's do a quick checkup on how long we've got left. 2 songs. Okay. So this should all I really need for the quick keys. I can unmute it. I can do this. I'm also going to now, I think about it, create a button for the record mute, which we're going to call record mute. I'm now realizing I didn't put a capital M on this last time. So, record mute is going to work how a lot of other things work, being when the quick key, when it's unmuted. Actually, we're going to copy this and copy, paste. We're going to call this record mute. We're going to delete this one. Change this to be not a bus, but a matrix. No, it is a bus. Record. Simple. And then in feedbacks, we're going to also change this to record. All of them need to be record. Keep quiet in case I'm going back on air, which I shouldn't be. I'm not. Lovely. There we go. We now have a record mute button. So I can mute and unmute all of the audio going to the stream. I did not need to copy that. But there we go. These will all be rearranged. I hate how it currently is, but I'll fix it at a later date. Now, that should be everything I need minus OBS. So, let's add the OBS buttons. For OBS, what presets have I got? We have a streaming button, which we're going to drag in, which shows, look, I'm live, and it also shows how long I'm live for, which I really like. And we have a recording button. Recording stopped. We have transition buttons, which we're going to drag across auto. We have scene to preview buttons, which I use. And oh, I like this better. So I use, where is desk? I use commentary. I use to fill. And that's all it looks like I use. That should be about right. Then, so what have I not got yet? I don't have my source control. I don't think this is actually what I wanted. Can I do what I want to do? So, for anyone that's interested, this isn't sources. This is all of our scenes. No, it's not. Is this what I want? This is what I want. I want this and this. And supposedly, if I test this, it does nothing. Okay. These ones I think I'm going to have to make myself. Which is fine, I have the ability to do this. But for the moment, we're going to talk some more on radio. And we're going to talk about my day. And we will get back to getting this to work afterwards. So, let's go live. Or not. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're not going live yet. There's another song here. We're gonna fade it out actually, and we are gonna go live. Hello radio. Sorry for that brief section of song and then me getting rid of it. I wanted to talk and I forgot I had another song in there that I hadn't removed yet. Never mind. Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing well. In the break, I've been doing many things, as Stream will know. From just the mics that I've set up before, I set up basically everything else that I use. There's 2 more buttons I need to make sure actually fully work. But hopefully they should all work, and I also want to do some resizing on the buttons so that they look nice, and then I should be able to switch over to using that as my default Stream Deck thing, which is nice, and I hope Josh will probably be happier with me, and then we will move on to sorting out the clock. But for the moment, let's have a little chat. I hope everyone is doing well at home. I've been doing okay. Do we have any... Oh, that's a shame. No one outside today for me to use as some information. So instead, I will talk about, for both different ways of viewing, I'm going to talk about what I'm going to be doing with the studio clock. I'm going to quickly transition this back to just me. With the studio clock, my rough plan is that I'm going to... I don't really have a plan. I did some fiddling the other day and was able to get Film Talks. Oh, I'm realising that that camera is really loud, which is a shame. But yes, I was able to get Film Talks. I'm just gonna make sure. There we go. Just trying to get the monitor in on a camera and hoping that it'll auto. There we go, flawless. I managed to get Film Talks, or the YouTube chat for the Film Talk stream on Monday in a Python thing. And with an older version of the clock code I have at home, I was able to get it working and get it to display. Sadly, they did end the stream before I fully got it working, so I haven't actually been able to test it. I don't know if I'll be able to test it today, but I will have to see. And there's some more code I need to figure out with actually getting the channel, the video ID from the channel ID. But that will all be something that will be shown on the stream. So if you are interested in that kind of thing and you want to know how I've been doing it, I'd recommend going across to the stream when I start doing that. But for the moment, we'll finish off Companion and carry on. Everything that I do, if you're currently watching on the radio and you don't have time to watch it, all of our streams stay live on our website. Well, they don't stay live, but they become videos on the Phantom Media YouTube channel. So if you miss a stream, you can always go back and have a look, or if you just want to watch it again, that's always available. My voice, of course, will be available on the Spotify, but unfortunately that can't have video, but it can, but I don't know how to do it. So for the moment, we're going to let the radio get back to some more songs because I've run out of bed, and we're going to have Fortnight by Taylor Swift, which is one of our tunes of the week, and the other tune of the week being Suddenly Seymour, which I've played right after it. Look at me go. And then Skyfall by Adele and Defying Gravity by Idina Menzel, I believe is their name. So you enjoy that stream, and I'll talk to you again in a little bit. Just checking. And it's working. Lovely. So, stream, I have created a new camera angle. I hope you like my new camera angle. Now, the camera isn't actually diagonal. That's just the monitor, because it's on boxes, as you can see. But you can see our lovely... This is what the clock currently looks like when I've been talking about the clock. This is what I mean. But for the moment, we're not doing clock things. We're still doing OBS stuff. So let's get back to OBS, shall we? Not OBS, sorry. Companion. Streaming button, I love. That's fine. Recording, it's not quite the right size. 14 is good. Auto, why are you trying to take up the entire thing? We're going to recall this transition. I might change these to PNGs just to make them look a bit more similar to how they look on the Stream Deck, because it's as clean a view. These I'm keeping the same because they are so helpful showing how long you've been live. And realistically, I'm going to be the only one using this at the moment, so it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks it looks like. Oh, that's horrible. Can I not get between that? I can't type. That's really annoying. That's going to frustrate me. 2 fill is okay, but it is a little big, so I'm probably going to shrink it a little bit. That's better. Muted message is a little big as well. Whoa. It's actually... Right. Action. OBS. Is there... I haven't used it... Oh. Set source filter visibility. Source being... muted message? Let's quickly go into the muted messages. What we actually want is be back soon. So I'm going to call this one be back soon. I can make this a little bit bigger. Let's make it 18. There we go. Be back soon. Be back soon. It's not actually what I want, is it? But I have found what source I need. Is there not just set source visibility? That's what I want. Source is going to be back soon. Toggle. So if I test this now, not working. It should be doing this. It's not what it's doing. Do I not have like, can I not change it in the program scene? We're gonna search for Viz. Yeah. Source. what can this do? I think this is actually what I want, but I don't know if it's working properly. Working the way I want it to. What if I set... Oh, that's not what I want to do. Oh, hang on. What if I set it to muted message and toggle that? Does that work? Oh, it works. Lovely. Now, we just need to do that with muted message. What is it? Set source visibility. It should actually be in here. Sorry. Owen took me to watch... well, actually, me and Owen both went. Owen invited me to go with to the musical theatre performance of Little Shop of Horrors, and I loved it. I thought it was really good. I need to find that one. Toggle visibility, and now both of them work as they should do. So all of these buttons should now work as they should do. And then if I transition, it works as if it was the same thing. This is what we like. So now it's time to move everything to be the way I like it. So we're going to quickly move the mics stuff over here. And this is actually going to go here. What I'm going to do is basically copy what I've done on the Stream Deck. So my Stream Deck looks like this, or my profile on the Stream Deck looks like this. And I'm going to make it similar to this. I'm going to move that to there. We're going to move this to here. We're going to move mics 0 to here. Oh, cancel. Mics minus infinity to here. Record mute. Oh, I've done this a bit funky. Quick keys, I really don't know where I want to put yet. So, but for the moment, let's move all of these up because that's not where I want them to be. So we're going to put recording here. Going to move to fill up there. We're going to put streaming here. Transition here. To fill is going to be over here. Complementary desk. Be back soon. We're actually going to swap these around like this because I don't think I'm going to use muted message as much as I did make it. It's not as good. And we're going to put this here and this here. And that seems to be everything, doesn't it? So, this is the companion setup. What's great is I can press launcher and now I have the full companion setup on the Stream Deck ready to go. Shows how long I've been streaming for, I can transition, and it works. It just works. To quote, who says that? Creator of Skyrim, Todd Howard. Hopefully the quick key buttons. Let's quickly go to, the thing that I haven't brought up. Oh, I've changed it to the wrong, realised I was going to use this one, but I have changed it to being pointing at the clock. Whoops. I love that this works. And it gives me some extra little space if I want to add some more buttons to it. Quickly check it, just quick keys should work. It does. And I like how quick keys are now very smooth. This makes Sky happy. So, it works. The companion version of my Stream Deck profile has been set up. And we're going to use it for the rest of the show. Because why not? The reason that it's laid out like this, hang on, transition over. button's working flawlessly. The reason it's set up like this is purely because it looks nice. It's how I set it up originally, and so I've gotten used to it. I've gotten used to where all the buttons are. So if I move it, it's going to be really weird. I might add something to each of these so that when the scene is in... I didn't need to add it here. Did I add it to this one? Nope. Whereas I can't copy it because it's not the same feedback. Scene in program is what we want. So when to fill is in program, which it currently isn't, but if it is, it's going to set it to purple. Why purple? Because I like it being purple, that's why. In here, we're going to do this with this as well. So add a feedback. When seen in program, it's going to turn purple. This is going to be this one. And there you go. It's now turned purple because it's currently live in program. My desk is in preview. Oh, that is such a loud air conditioning. And then when in program, set it to purple. And then if I transition across, oh, hang on, I need to set this to desk. There we go. When I transition across, you can't see, but you might be able to see here that this is purple and this is green. I don't think you can quite see the purple at this angle. There you go. Transition back. So, actually, let's go back to me. What we're going to do now is going to be a bit interesting because I don't know how well it's going to work. But we're going to have to see. I am quickly creating a new Stream Deck button just to make it easier for me, which is going to be camera 4 and 5 because that's what I've currently got pointed at the monitor. And we'll quickly call this 4-5. Auto. We don't want it on auto actually, that's a little big. There we go. So when I have a button, so I can press 4-5 and I can transition between these. And also between complementary. Oh, hang on. Loop, loop. Look at me go. All of the buttons do things. So, how long have I got left? I've got 2 more songs. And is 6:15. Am I going to have time to code this? I'm not sure. But for the moment, we're going to close down Companion because I don't need it anymore. And I'm going to load up the Python code that runs that clock. And see if... see if I can get this working. I'm doing this live. I will probably do something wrong and it'll probably break. And I'm going to copy the script. Let's not be stupid. We're going to rename to version 3. Because we're currently on version 2. And we're going to put work in progress next to it. Very simple. What do I want to edit this in? We're going to edit it in idle. I would use a different code editor, but I'm not on my home PC. So I can't. I'm realising I'm probably going to have to use pip to install some stuff as well. So I'm going to try and set that up really quickly. And hopefully I can get this working nicely. Shouldn't be too much code because I have already done this before. But as an idiot, I didn't actually download... I didn't allow myself to access it. So I don't have the code I've already written. You will notice that is a really silly thing to do. But I'm just going to have to wing it and hopefully find... There we go. The code I need. And there is certain things I need to import. One of which I already have, which is nice. But I don't think I'm going to have this. Am I? I also need to import PYT chat, I believe. I'm gonna quickly. This is what the majority of coding is, making sure you have the correct libraries for the thing you're trying to do, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to do anything. I'm just going to quickly load up this, pip install PyChat, PYT chat, not PyChat. That should have successfully installed. I'm going to quickly pip install HTML. That's not... I've installed it. So we're going to quickly install HRML. Yes. Lovely. I uninstalled the incorrect library that I installed, but that should be all of the libraries I need. Not sure that's true now, but I'm hoping it is. And I don't actually know. Python get YouTube live chat. Let's quickly load up PYT chat again, so I can get what I need, which is very simply, I'm copying the code that I forgot to bring across. Not a very difficult thing to do. It's not very difficult code that I'm adding, if I'm honest. I'm just adding a new function to the clock, which I'm now realising I should probably show what I'm doing. But we're about to go live. So I won't do that, and we will continue with this after the break. Listening to Phantom Radio, live from Kettleston Road. Hello, radio. I hope everyone's doing well. I've been doing some stuff. I'd say off when I've not been on. Of course, I've been onto the stream, but not onto the radio. So let's have a chat through with what I've been doing. I finished off setting up my companion version of my Stream Deck profile. So that's all set up and ready. It's all working, functioning. I'm using it now, in fact. So we've got that working, and now I'm moving on. Say we. It's just me. I'm moving on to editing the clock that we have. Electronic Python script, which is a clock which shows us when our mics are live, when we're on air, the amount of people listening on the radio, which is apparently 3. There is at least 2 bots. So if there is one person out there, hello. And if not, sorry. I'm not talking to anyone, but I probably am. And it shows us some other things. And I'm going to be changing that so that I can see the YouTube live chat when I glance over at that monitor. Is it going to work? Hopefully. Likelihood is no, but we're going to try and see if I can get it working. And if I can, I will post some updates on the Behind the Desk Instagram. I will edit down parts of the stream and post updates of it either working or it not working. This is what I get. And if you do want to watch on, then the VOD, the video for this live, will be on the Phantom Media YouTube account, so go have a look. But for the moment, this show has been a bit weird because I haven't really had anything to talk about. And I have 2 more talking sections, so this is going to be fun for me. But never mind. But yeah, I haven't really had much to talk about, and I'm actually needing another song at the end of this because I haven't talked about anything. So that's going to be fun. I might end the show a little bit early, or I might just talk a bit longer in the last section. Don't know what it's going to be about yet. Maybe I'll look up some news. Who knows? But for the moment, That's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to look up some news. I'm going to have a chat. I realise there's really nothing to chat about. I did some talking on the SLET show the other day, and it has completely ruined my knowledge of what to talk about. And my brain apparently has gone blank. This was very much a stream for coding and setting stuff up. Oh, I can talk about something I set up before the stream very quickly in the limited amount of time I've had left now. I've been talking a load of rubbish, which was, with our live streams, I have created a default for everyone, which just sets like some default things. So if someone's doing a stream, they don't quite know how it works. If they just press the stream button twice, or press stream and then press straight away broadcast, then it'll broadcast a default Phantom Live with our lovely logo, and they should be able to get on the air all nice and good. But for the moment, I'm going to let the radio get back to some songs, which is going to be Queen of Kings, Touch the Sky, Take Me to Church, and Set Fire to the Rain. Hope you enjoy that, and in a little bit, hopefully, we'll have some interesting news for you. Right. It is playing. I'm not live. We are working flawlessly. So, we're going to get back to editing this code. So let's quickly come across. Let's transition this. Lovely. You can see what I'm doing. This is a Python IDLE, which is an interactive development idle. It's interactive development and learning environment. I think that's what IDLE stands for. Hang on, let's do some research quickly. IDLE meaning. It's. Can I have it related to Python, please? Look at that. Sorry, integrated, not interactive. But that was a pretty good guess on my part, considering I haven't looked that up in a while. But let's get back onto what we're actually doing. Let's make this relatively big. How visible is it on stream? Probably not very, to be honest with you. I'm really hoping I'm not showing something I shouldn't be. I think everything should be relatively hidden. So I'm going to hope it's fine. If it's not, I'm really sorry, Josh. I hope there is some obscure things in here. I edited the version I had at home. I didn't realise it was different until I came in yesterday, and I didn't have time to change it. So I might transition to just me or just to the clock for certain sections. I am going to break the clock by doing this. I don't have to break the clock, but I'm likely to break the clock by doing this, so that's going to be fun for me to deal with. But anyway, to get started with, we're going to create a new function. This function is going to be called YouTube chat. Need to remember to use the right kind of names, because I've been used to C++, not to Python. But in this, we're going to paste some code. This is not a channel ID for anything specific. It is the default that comes with this library. So, as you can see, we have a bunch of lovely things here. We're going to change some stuff, and actually, how far can I scroll up? Hang on. Let me do some looking before I do too much. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. I should be able to show everything, I think. But we are going to create a new variable. This variable is going to be called chat list. It's going to be a list. Sorry, not an array, it's a list. And we're also going to create a... What am I going to build? I honestly don't know. Actually, we're gonna put in live ID. There we go. and this is going to currently be equal to nothing because I'm going to need to get it, which is going to be fun, and I'm going to have to do it every second, I think. Yeah, that's going to be annoying. But anyway, we now have some stuff we can edit. So, we're going to pass... Do I need to do this? Do I remember how stuff works? We're going to pass YouTube chat, chat list, and live ID. And video ID is going to be equal to live ID. I probably shouldn't be making them the exact same as the external variables, but I want them to be the same, so it shouldn't matter. And we're going to pass it... What else are we going to pass it, actually? Actually, we're going to change this to be... channel ID. How do you spell channel? That's how channel is now spelt. I believe it might actually be LE. No, that looks wrong. We're going with that. That's how it's spelled. If it's wrong, I'm sorry. But that is now how it's spelled. I have said so. So if that's wrong, whoops. Anyway, so in here, I'll explain roughly what this does. So it gets the, well, using the library, it creates a variable called chat, which is using its library to create based on a video ID, which we're going to be passing it, but we're going to be generating it in a minute. And while it has something in it, while it's alive, so while it's running, it will get each item from chat, so each string, and it will print them out like this. Now, this is all well and good. I don't want this, however. What I want is for it to... We still want it to be an F string, because that allows us to put variables inside of the string. If I say anything wrong, by the way, I'm just being an idiot. Ignore me. But we're going to do another check first, actually. We're going to do an if statement, and we're going to do if c dot message is not equal to nothing. So as long as the message contains something, we're going to do chat list dot insert insert 0, comma this comma 0. This is me not knowing Python things. Python insert. W3 Schools, best website in the world if you're a coder, very helpful. I have done it the right way. So, reason we're doing it like this, we're going to get a new message in. If the message contains some text in the message section, we're going to put it at the top of the list. This is because when I'm outputting it over to, when I'm outputting it over to this monitor, I want it to only show 5 messages, because if it showed all of them, then it's going to cover the entire screen. So, how do we do that? What we do is what do? We return how do I want to do this? We're going to return an F string, which is going to contain chat list. This is a very silly way of doing it, but it's going to go like this: 0. And then we're going to use \n, which for anyone that uses Python will know is the new line character. And we're simply... Actually, I've written this slightly wrong. \n. And we're going to copy this. So 0 is 1 in coding languages usually. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That needs to be 4. This needs to be 3. This needs to be 2. I'm fully aware there is a better way of doing this. I could do it in a for loop and just add it to the string. This is easier, so I'm not doing it like that. And then finally, in this, we actually need some of this code. We need to make a page request, and then if it's done well, it gives us this. So we're going to copy this from this amazing person on Stack Overflow. Again, if you're a coder, Stack Overflow is another great website that you really need to know. And we're going to run it in this. It's very inefficient because it means every second it's going to make a call and try and get an ID. And honestly, I don't like it, but for the moment it's going to work, so it's okay. Actually, no, that's silly. Let's not do that. Let's do this properly. We're going to create, if we scroll down code a little bit, there is a function called clock here. Clock calls itself, I believe. How does clock work? Clock after 1,000 seconds calls clock. Can I not do C1? Or can I only do that because it's a canvas? We're going to try and do something here. After clock, we're going to define get ID, which we're going to pass channel ID. I think that's what I called it, but we're going to have to go back up. And in here, we're going to do this. We're going to copy this. We need to put our channel ID, which is going to be this. That is code brackets. Yep, that is. Lovely. How long have we got left on this? We've got some time, that's fine. Let's move this over here. Purely so I can see the cart that's playing the music. I've lost myself. I'm over here. If that's correct. I don't want to change too much of this. But we are going to call this live ID. And it's going to return what we're going to do in here, we're going to return live ID, and if not, we're going to return an empty string. This is so this is purely so that if it doesn't get a live ID, it will return nothing. And if it returns nothing, I can then do something with that. And then I also want right, we have something else we need to do up here. We have about 21 seconds until we go back live, and then I don't know if I'm going to talk or if I'm just going to talk over myself coding because I am now in the groove, but we'll see. We'll quickly go back to me while I sort this out. Into Phantom Radio, live from Kedleston Road. Hello radio, we're back. Me and the stream have been doing some Python code, and by doing some I mean using some Python libraries to get to hopefully eventually get the YouTube chat. No success yet because we're still in setup phase. There is a couple more lines of code I need to write and doing a new thing that I haven't done yet. Live coding is always a bad idea, as said by pretty much all of my lecturers. But I'm going to try it and hopefully it's going to work. If it does, then I'll be able to see YouTube chat. If not, then I'm going to have to work on it at home and hopefully get it working for next week. But so far what we've done, we've imported 2 libraries. We've imported the HTML library and we've imported PYT chat. HTML is so we can use some code to get the video ID of the live stream. So we use a channel ID, which is going to be the Phantom Media channel on YouTube. Oh, sorry about that. And from that, if there is a live stream, it's going to get the ID, and if not, it's going to return nothing. I'm not sure how well it's going to work, but we're going to find out. And then from that, we have used PYT chat to hopefully get that video ID, get the chat, and then if a new chat messages come through, it'll add it to a list, and then we can display the first 5 items of that list on the clock over there, and it should be all well and good. Currently I don't have a garbage collector built into it, so the list will just become infinitely long, and that might end up being a really poor idea, but who knows. What am I going to do with that? I might just set it so after the list becomes too big, it sets it to 0. Yeah, that sounds good. Just set it to an empty list again. Actually, I could just set it to the first 5. We'll figure it out. I haven't actually got it working yet. I can't code it more while it's not working. But we'll see. Hopefully I can get it working really well. And then I can show the stream and show all of the work I have done on it. But for the moment, this is the last talking section I have until the end of the show. Which is a shame, really, but never mind. So I'm gonna let you guys get back to some songs, because there isn't really much I can show for this on the radio, I'm afraid. You'll have to keep an eye out on the Instagram or go have a look at the YouTube VOD for this, I'm afraid. Just the way the show works at the moment. But the songs coming up we have are Bones by Imagine Dragons, Happier by Marshmello and Bastille, Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo, and Sincerely Me from Dear Evan Hansen. I hope you enjoy, and I will talk to you guys at the end. Sorry, vibing, not paying attention that I was still on stream. Hello stream. Let's get back to coding, shall we? So, this uses, I think it uses Tinker to actually lay stuff out on the, like it's laid out like that. So we're going to need to create some new Tinker logos, but first of all, this is going to be really annoying. Sorry, brain processing how I'm going to do this. I think we're going to get rid of the news and move current listeners and latest temps upwards. So, current listeners. Interesting. Current listeners is what calls the other one. Huh, that's a bit weird. But I guess it makes sense for it to update. So, current listeners is on the clock over there, you can see it, and it has current listeners, and then it has, well, LN is what it's called on here, which is the number of listeners. So, we're going to have to move that, hang on, we'll go back over to here so I can explain it. We're going to have to move current listeners, the number 3, and latest temps and all of the temperatures upwards so that they're closer to the actual time and everything like that. And we're going to get rid of the latest UK headlines. I could change it so that it's there, but for the moment I want to get this to work, and I have a quarter of an hour to get code working, so I really don't have the time to fiddle with it too much. Of course I'm going to make it nicer, and I'll take it home and fix it and everything. But for the moment, let's try and get that to work. So, back over here. for each thing, we have relative X, relative Y, and an anchor. Anchor we're not going to fiddle with because it just anchors it to the center of the screen. But we do need to change the relative Y values. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase... Oh, what we're going to do, we're going to increase the relative Y values by 1. So we're going to set this to 4. And where is weather? Is that really what it is? I think I want it to increase it, not decrease it. No, because that... No, I'm doing this right. I'm definitely doing this right. Where is this? It's anchored differently. That's really annoying. What we are going to do quickly, I believe... Oh, what is it? Comments are hashtags. We're going to comment out all of the news stuff. And we need to edit all of the weather where there is so much weather. Okay. The relative Y of all of the weather needs to go up by 1. Relative Y goes up by 1. Location goes up by 1. What is this supposed to be? Weather. We're gonna increase that by 1, and we're also going to increase weather source by 1. I don't think that's right, hang on. I think I've set all of them to... No, they were all 4. Okay, that's what I get for questioning myself, isn't it? And we're going to set that to 5. So, what that should have done, and what I really should do, is save this. No, you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to save this. And we're going to run the module, which is going to create a new clock. Hopefully. No module found called... Oh, I see what I have done. Right. Command prompt. This is what happens when you forget to import something that you're trying to use. Pip. Install LXML. And we're going to quickly transition over to this. And that has installed successfully, so we're going to run this again. Now, nothing has appeared. Which means somewhere I have left something I shouldn't, and I think I know where it is because... Right. Kill it. This while loops don't work when you're trying to do something like this. So we're going to make it into an if statement. Because this is going to get called every second, so we don't need it in a while loop. Hopefully. Unless I've messed up somewhere else. Oh. Right. Where have I done this? Okay. Press Ctrl S and find news. Find. Oh no. Okay, this is my fault. Let's quickly... So, what we're going to quickly do is we're going to hashtag this section entirely away. So news config is gone. I'm just going to quickly check that it's not anywhere else. Yeah, this is what I get, isn't it? Okay. So we've got a couple more things we need to get rid of. This is what happens when you try and remove something without trying to completely destroy it. Because it means you need to comment out large sections of code. And while that's really easy to do in an IDE, it's not very easy to do in idle. IDE is an interactive development environment, which idle is. It's just not a very good one. It's a very simple one, should be what I'm saying. I've got 11 minutes to get this working. This is going to be fun. Okay. Run this again, save it. And what we're hoping for is nothing to do with news to appear. There we go. So, as you can see on our clock, current listeners and latest temps have moved upwards, and latest headlines are still there, but all of the rest of the news is commented out. This is what we wanted. So, we need to get rid of latest headlines, and then we're done. Well, we're not done, because we need to add the other stuff in. This does mean it's running, so we're going to kill it. It's going to go back to the other one, as you can see. Going to check. I have... Gonna quickly, if you give me a second here, stream, I'm gonna quickly put another song in the system so that it ends at about the right time, because we were about 7 minutes early. Whoops. It's fine now. So, let's get back into doing some more coding. So we need to find where in here headlines is. Oh look, headlines. Get rid of that. So, no headlines. Run module. Hopefully headlines isn't called anywhere else. It's possible that it is. This code is very thorough. And I respect it. But it's really annoying. Okay, I only missed one section. It's fine. There we go. So, now, when I run this, save, it should, over on the other monitors, assuming there's no errors. There we go. Let's quickly transition over. Lovely big space for some YouTube comments to be. So, let's do that. Let's kill that so it goes back to the default. What we now need to do is a couple of things. In here, we need to go into here and do we're going to add here, and we're going to add get ID. Oh, okay. We're going to change how this works slightly. Oh, do I do this? Okay. I don't think we're going to have time to get this working, but we're going to try. So, what we need to do is, under here, we need to create a new thing, which is going to be called YTL title. And we're going to copy this, because it's going to be very similar to this, but it's going to be different. And we're going to call this YouTube chat. And then we want to copy this. And what we're going to do is we're going to replace this with YTL title. Dot place. And what we're going to do is set that to probably about 8, I assume. I'm going to quickly run this. That should work without any problems. So what's happened here is it's far too low, and I'm going to leave the view like that, tweak some code in the background so that it looks better and actually fits properly. I need to figure out where that is. So set that to that. And set that to that. This is probably going to be inside of current listeners. That looks actually perfect. I might shrink that a little bit though. So we're going to quickly change that font to 35? 35 sounds about right. See what that looks like. I'd say that looks quite good. I can see it quite nice from my view. You can see it about as well as I can. I can see it a little bit better than camera. But that looks quite nice. So, now what we need to do is I will bring you back over here. And we need to create a new one, which is going to be called YTL chat. So we're going to copy YTL title and call this chat, and call this chat. We're going to lower the font quite significantly because we don't want it to be that big. We're going to put it... what are we going to do? We're going to do 25. It's going to be the same. We're going to lower the height by... It's going to be 0.05 lower, possibly. And we're going to call this test message. This is where all of the messages will go. What does that look like? Yeah, I'd say that looks quite good actually. Hang on, I'll show you guys. I'd say that looks quite good. Okay, let's go back and kill that. How many songs have I got left? I'm on the last song. I'm definitely not going to have time to get this working how I want it to. That's fine. There is a couple more things I need to do to get this properly working. But I can get this almost working. So in here, we're going to do youtubechat.config. And what this little line of code is going to do is every second, it's going to call the function. Or did I call it YT chat? What did I call this? YT chat. So this isn't going to quite work yet, as I say. But this is going to give the idea of roughly what this is going to do. So every second we're going to call the YouTube chat with a chat like this, and it will return the top 5 messages back to me, and it will then display it under YouTube, like YouTube chat. That should work, however, because Lively doesn't exist, does it? We're going back live. Radio station. This is the plus of having a Stream Deck. Welcome to the end of the show. I hope everyone at home has enjoyed. Unfortunately, I haven't quite gotten the code working for the YouTube chat, which is a shame. I will keep the stream going a little bit longer just to see if I can get a test version of that working. If I quickly throw myself back on the screen. But that will only be on the stream side. I do have to end the show now. Which is a shame, but I hope everyone at home had a good time listening in. I'm sorry this stream hasn't been as good for the radio listeners. This was very much this is something I want to do, see how well it works. So if you have any input, please either DM me on Behind the Desk or put something in the YouTube chat. I currently can't see it. But hopefully next show I'll be able to see that. But yeah, I'm sorry that this hasn't been as normal as it normally has been, but I hope you enjoyed it either way. It was something new. I just want to see what I can do with this kind of format, so we will see. Next week it'll be back to, or likely be back to me talking about different news that I've found, or what's going on in the studio or in my life. So, from me, in the studio, it is 1 minute to 7 here on Phantom Radio. So, I hope everyone has a good evening. The rest of your day and evening. And I will see you again next week. Please listen to some of the other shows on Phantom Radio, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone. Stream, don't leave yet. We're not done here. We're almost done here, but we're not done here. I'm going to create... We're going to just throw some messages in the list to get it working nicely. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this format like this and just throw some test messages from myself. And it's going to be very simple. It's just going to be very simple, being message 1, and we're going to do 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to do 6. It won't show it. But hopefully this should only show messages 1 to 5. And we'll see if any of the code I've written is going to work. We're just going to currently do this. So we're getting rid of everything, and all it's going to do is it's going to take in these two values and it's going to return this. And hopefully, if I'm lucky, it won't be an error. There isn't an error, but it hasn't worked quite how I was wanting to. I'll show you, chat, what's happened. So it's displayed the messages, however it's displayed it around the central message, which I didn't expect it to do, because when I've done this before it hasn't done that. Okay. What if I just move this down to like 5? So move it down by 2. Let's kill this. I'm just going to really quickly try and get this to work, and then I'll let you go to your regularly scheduled... That was the wrong way. So we're going to call it 7.5 possibly. Gonna keep testing until I can get this to work. There we go. So as you can see, it shows you messages 1 to 5 and a YouTube chat. It kind of works. So, sorry I couldn't quite get it working fully, but at least you can see what I'm trying to do, and by next stream I will have it working. I'll probably be able to get it working within a couple minutes, but it might take me a while, so I'm not going to hold the stream going for longer. So, I hope you had a good time, stream. Sorry, I should be looking at the camera. Hope you had a good time. I've had a lovely time doing this, but I am now going to head off. And it's been a great stream, so I will see you all next time. I hope you enjoyed. Please tune into the rest. I didn't get to say this on the radio. Please tune into some of the other shows we have on Fainting Radio because they are all amazing. But I have to go, so I will see you next time. I hope you had a good stream. I haven't got holding on here. Look at me, I'm not even paying attention. There we go. But I will see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.